Hey, amazing people. Today what we're going to do is going to look at some examples involving arithmetic series. Now, when we have a question like this, one of the first things that you need to do is you need to ensure that you're able to write down the series or sequence in some cases and be able to work out the pattern and certain information from that. Now, in this example here, we have a stack of cans on display at a supermarket. It has 5 cans on the top row. The next row has 2 cans more, and the next one has 2 more cans, and so on. So first thing I'm going to do before I do anything with this question is I need to establish the pattern here. So yes, in A we're asked to calculate the number of cans in the 11th row, but we can't do that until we start to understand it. So we know in the first row we've got 5. The next one we have 7, then we have 9, then we have 11. And this is just by adding 2 each time to this. And this is helping to establish the pattern here. Now from this there are a couple of things I can start to take away. I know that my first term, A, that's going to be 5. I can also quickly work out that the difference I have here is going to be 2, because 2 is being added at each time. Okay, and now to start to answer the question of the 11th row, I know that row 11 is where n is equal to 11 here. So that's what I need to know. Now, another key thing here is the formula we need to use. So since we're finding a term in this series, we have to remember the formula t of n equals a plus n minus 1 times d. And so this is the key aspect here we need to be paying attention to and applying it in what we're doing here. So now as we start to apply it, that means we've got T11, because we're finding the 11th term here, the 11th row. That's going to be equal to 5 plus bracket 11 minus 1 times 2. As we start to break this down, that's 5 plus 10 times 2, which equals 5 plus 20. And then that gives us an answer of 25. So what I can do here is I can say that there are 25 cans in the 11th row. Now we have this second part, B, which we need to deal with, and it's saying if there are 320 cans in the display in total, how many rows are there? So in this case, let's define our information. We still have A is equal to 5. We still have the difference equal to 2. Now, in this aspect, we don't know what row we have. So N is a question mark in this aspect. But what we do know is T of N is equal to 320. All right, so in this case here, since we're now finding the sum of all cans, we have to use a slightly different formula. So this is going to be S of N is equal to N over 2, bracket 2A plus N minus 1 D. All right. Now, what this formula will do is it will help us find the sum of all of these cans here. Now, we already know that, it's 320. So as we substitute in, we get 320 equals n over 2, bracket 2 times 5 plus bracket n minus 1 times 2, and close the brackets all together. As we begin to expand and simplify this to break it down, we end up with n over 2, bracket, we're going to have 10 plus 2n minus 2. And we can take this further now, and we're going to have 320 is equal to n over 2, 2n plus 8. Now, from this step here, let's expand the brackets entirely and then start to break things down. So in the first instance, I'm going to have 320 equals, now when I do n over 2 times 2n, that's just going to give me n squared plus 4n when I do n over 2 times 8. Now, rearranging this, I have 0 is equal to n squared plus 4n minus 320. Now, this here is a quadratic, and we can factorize it in order to solve it from here. Factorizing it gives us n minus 16 in the first bracket and n plus 20 in the second bracket. So from here, we can get our answers for n. N can be either equal to 16 or to negative 20. Now, one part of this is because we're dealing with a series, n must be a positive number. So as a result of this, n equals 16. So there are 16 rows in the stack.